Top focus story coming in from Maharashtra. The government there has now played the domicile Marathi card. Maharashtra government has made one Marathi film mandatory for every multiplex during prime time viewing. The state government said that the multiplexes must ensure that at least one screen in multiplexes must show a Marathi movie in prime time slots from 6 to 9 p.m. The order was issued by Tawde, State's Minister for Cultural Affairs. The government order also makes it mandatory to play the national anthem before screening of the films. Theatres will also now have to play a song in respect of legendary filmmaker Dada Saheb Phalke. All right, I want to cut across to Ashok Pandit. He is a member of the censor board and also a filmmaker. We also have Kamlesh Sutar with us right now, my colleague who's tracking all details. Before we get in perspective and a word from Ashok Pandit, I want to go quickly to Kamlesh Sutar. Who's with me. Kamlesh, can you get us up to speed with this order, which has been a directive of sorts, which has been given by the Maharashtra government?
The Maharashtra government has made it mandatory for multiplex owners to screen Marathi movies during prime time. Now the government had earlier made it mandatory for every multiplex to screen a Marathi movie, but there were complaints from Marathi film industry saying that films are only screened in non-prime time, in the morning band, or in the for matinee shows. That wasn't reaping any dividends for the producers. Already Marathi films are tax-free, so that wouldn't have been a problem for them to screen. But since considering that demand that was pending for a long time, now the state government has made it mandatory to film one screen in the prime time. But that's not the only thing. They've also played the Marathi card by asking multiplex owners to play a song praising Dada Saheb Phalke before every movie that is being screened.
All right, Kamlesh, stay with me because let's bring in Ashok Pandit into this conversation right now. Ashok, there are two ways that we can look at this. One, of course, is the domicile issue. And on the other hand, many would say, what's, so bad about this? It protects regional cinema.
You see, any kind of order doesn't go well with the entertainment industry or any other industry that matters. Finally, let us face the reality that we are into business. Theatre owners are into business. The film industry is into business. And if really, sincerely, the Maharashtra government wants that a great cinema of Marathi, which is really well-made films, and they are brilliant in making Marathi films. There's no two opinions on that. Then the attitude of the government should have been, they should have started with the theatre owners. They should have started with the film producers. They should have started with the people, and a joint solution should have been found out to protect the popularity of Marathi.
But Ashok, the way you
let me come.
Yes, complete.
See, if tomorrow theatre owners suffer a huge loss, is the state government ready to facilitate them with the loss? There has to be certain ways. You cannot force your diktat on a theatre owner that you have to run this film. More Hindi films don't do well, they're out of the theatre. It's not concerning what language film is being played in theatre, it's whether the film is doing well or not.
Right.
Last Marathi release was Lay Bhari, which was Ritesh Deshmukh and Shalini Thakre's film. It did so well, and it was running in prime time in theatres. So film yourself on theatre owners, which is totally a business-oriented, public-oriented business. Running Dada Saheb Phalke's song, I really salute.
Okay. Ashok, stay with me. Just stay with me. I would request you to stay with me. I want to bring in Shreyash Talpade. He's a known Marathi face actor. He's also worked in very successful Bollywood films as well. Shreyash, thank you for joining us. What do you make, Shreyash, of all of this? Because, it's a two-way sword of looking at it. At one end, it is a business. And Ashok has a point there when he says, will the Maharashtra government compensate multiplex owners if they lose, people coming in, if they lose footfall because of prime time viewing compulsory of one Marathi film being put there? On the other hand, of course, there are the likes from people from the Marathi film industry who say that it needs to be done to protect regional cinema. What's your take?
I'm talking purely as a producer right now, considering I've released my film last year in August. And I was the one who didn't really get primetime shows because my distributor would keep telling me that, there are other Hindi films that are running, and that's the reason we can't get primetime shows. In spite of the fact that there were so many people who kept calling me and asking me, Shreyas, why isn't our film playing at the prime time shows. So I think this move definitely will help regional cinema to a very, very large extent. Again, I feel, yes, the industry, Marathi, Hindi, both industry legends, seniors need to be consulted on this kind of an issue, which is definitely going to just help the industry.
Okay.
It's not about trying to prove any kind of muscle power over the other.
Right.
But I think there needs to be a neutral, a balanced kind of an approach, wherein producers like me who are new
Right.
and who really want to, make a difference or contribute, we need to have prime time shows. And if
All
we are
right.
not given those, then the whole purpose is defeated.
Okay, Shreyas.
And I think in multiplexes, when you have
Yes.
so many screens, let's say you have 4 screens, if you don't have any other Hindi film releasing at that point of time,
Right.
you can definitely afford to give 1 screen to Marathi
Okay,
cinema at
Shreyas,
prime
stay
time.
with me. Let's bring in Ashok Pandit back into this conversation. Ashok, there's been a train of thought where the film industry is concerned, which goes on to suggest that it is not just, say, regional cinema which is kept out. Multiplexes have become the domain of big production houses. And that's where the muscle power comes in. Even smaller Hindi films, which maybe are vying for multiplex viewing, don't quite get that space.
No, that's not true. I don't agree to this. Small films do get places in multiplex. That's what I'm telling you. It's ultimately relating to the business. What I want to say is, if you really, I also really want to see to it that Marathi cinema reaches to the top. They are brilliant. They're not broken. But what I'm trying to say is, this system, the way it's being done is wrong. Marathi, the government should announce that, okay, fine, this prime time where a Marathi film is being shown, we cancel all the entertainment tax. Let people come and see the film. You create as well a situation where people are encouraged to come to see Marathi films in the theatre. The theatre owners don't go under a loss. So there has to be win-win to everyone.
Right.
You cannot issue a diktat that you have to show this film. This is no
Right.
way.
Fair point. Fair point. Shreyas, what happens tomorrow? What happens when now Punjabi filmmakers lobby in Punjab expect the same? So does happen in Bhojpur cinema. How do you think it will work where business is concerned? Because ultimately it's the game of business.
See, if the industry is growing, there needs to be some kind of a support to the industry. And I think that is probably what the government is trying to do over here. They're trying to support. I am against any kind of dictatorship, especially in a country like India, which is a democratic country. But I think some kind of support, especially the past governments also have helped Marathi industry when they give us subsidies, let's say, or, cutting down on entertainment tax and things like that. But at the same time, in our first week share, we end up paying 55% to the exhibitors and 45% is what we get. And on top of that, if you're not getting prime time shows, then for producers like me who are new producers, I really don't know where to go. And
So you would
what to do.
advocate this nationally. You would advocate it maybe for Punjabi cinema, Bhojpuri cinema. Similar diktat should follow by state governments.
The government, so definitely, it's about helping the industry per se. And again, I want to stress the fact, considering I'm doing both Marathi and Hindi, I personally wouldn't like to have any kind of fight with the Hindi industry, and neither do Hindi industry people want to fight with Marathi. They want to help each other grow. And I think that's the reason I said that, if seniors and legends are consulted,
you reach a middle ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashok,
what do you reckon is the middle ground in all of this?
You see, I feel the government should sit with the industry, Marathi industry and the Hindi industry and the theatre owners, mainly the theatre owners. It should be a joint effort with the theatre owners mainly and the government.
Okay.
Win-win situation to everyone, and I'm sure that the theatre owners are not against Marathi cinema or any other regional cinema or anybody is against Marathi cinema. Marathi cinema has produced the best possible films.
Yes.
And they do so brilliant work. That is not the case. Point is, everybody has to see that they don't support us.
All right.
I'm sorry to cut you, but the question to be asked is, why do you think the government has reached this kind of point? Because probably there have been certain producers who've been requesting the government that, we do not get prime time shows and this is what we really need. So probably we need you to step in and help us out.
All right.
There should be a way of doing this.
Okay. All right. Let's agree to disagree on that. Shreyash and Ashok, appreciate you gentlemen for joining us there. We'll of course keep tracking developments on that. Ultimately, it is business. That's what it boils down to. And we are going to keep getting in reactions on that story. Ashok Pandit, Shreyas Phalke, appreciate you.